and welcome back to Healthy Living. I'm here with Jared Ivy and Kavita Ray, who are going to tell us about a new project relating to cancer. So can you guys tell us about the new HOPE project?
Sure, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
My name is Jared Ivy. I'm the current chairman of the Guam Comprehensive Cancer Control Coalition.
And I'm Kavita Ray, and I'm the vice chairman of the Guam Comprehensive Cancer Control Coalition.
Yeah, so the reason we're here today is to actually share about an exciting project that has been in the works for a couple of years. We actually finished it up last spring, and basically what it is it highlights the stories of survivorship and hope for 7 different individuals who have experienced cancer and the process of receiving treatment and all of the many things that come from it. And the whole idea was kind of birthed from this idea that most people, when they find out about cancer, one of the first things that they kind of lose in that moment is that sense of hope, the sense of future. And so as a part of the coalition, one of our missions, of course, is a cancer-free Guam, but we wanted some kind of a product that would kind of highlight some of those stories of strength and courage and community and all of the different things that get people through one of the most challenging illnesses that we have here on our island.
And as you know, cancer is one of the leading causes of death here on Guam. And we wanted to make sure that, when people think of cancer, they don't immediately hear it and think of a death sentence, that there is hope, there is treatment, there is something to look forward to. And that's where the idea of quality of life and survivorship comes in, to say, regardless of if you've just been diagnosed, you're dealing with it, or you've lived through it, you still have to maintain that sense of energy and hope and wanting to get better.
Okay, so it's kind of a documentary showing survivorship from cancer.
Yes.
Can you tell me how these 7 different individuals were chosen to be a part of the project?
Sure. True to form here on Guam, it's kind of who you know. And so the coalition actually has several different action committees, and the Survivorship and Quality of Life Committee is just one committee that focuses specifically on issues related to how well people live their lives across the many different things that we have to interact with on a day-to-day basis, but specifically those with cancer. So really it was, I think, word of mouth and referral. It was people who were interested and willing to actually share their story. So as you can imagine, stories about cancer is kind of an intimate experience. So it's not that we had people kind of banging down the doors ready to share something that's so intimate. But fortunately for us, we did get a group of people who are different ages, ethnicities, genders, types of cancer experiences. And so what you find is there are some common threads of experience that definitely show up across the different interviewees, the different people telling their stories. But there were also some things that were very unique in each of them too. Right. I mean, children who experience cancer and remember cancer in ways that are very different than someone who maybe is, a retired physician in his 70s, right? So I think that we got a lot of good information that way.
So how is this project funded, or how did it get started?
So it came with, the coalition works with public health, and this was a grant that we received through public health to basically on the Survivorship and Quality of Life Action Team to do something that we thought would be a benefit for Guam, to see people that we know, that we are familiar with, and hear their stories and their journeys, and just see the courage that they display and experience. I mean, we have a child, like Jared said, who went through cancer, and you see her family, and you just are amazed at just how people can get through anything, and the grant with the help from public health made it possible.
Well, this is definitely something that a lot of people in our community can relate to, especially as you mentioned, there are such high rates of cancer in Guam. So for people who are interested in learning more or viewing this documentary, where can they view it?
So we've been able to, with the help of some great people at PBS, had it aired this week and next week on PBS. Additionally, you can see it on YouTube if you look up the Hope Project. If you go to Facebook, the Comprehensive Cancer Coalition has a Facebook page, and there'll be links to it as well. We're also looking at getting copies into medical and clinical offices, and there's a transcript in the works to put it in book form.
Okay, so in the future there's going to be a book coming out for people to buy?
Yes.
Yeah, it probably won't be for sale. It'll probably be something more that's just available to those in the community who want it, that actually just has those particular stories in writing format.
Okay, so I know with this video you guys are trying to emphasize hope and survivorship, and especially with the increased rates of cancer in Guam, I mean, or throughout the world, is the survivor rate of cancer, I mean, is that something that has been increasing?
Well, I think what we find is, cancer has been around for a long time, but you're right. I mean, the rates of diagnosis and the rates of mortality, so death related to cancer, are high here on Guam, higher than we'd like them to be. But I think that with modern day technology, we have more and more survivors than we've ever had. Right, so across the world and on the island, and so that's where there's actually a national coalition for cancer survivorship, where we get a lot of our ideas. One of the sister coalitions is ones who actually did a similar kind of a hope project, where we kind of borrowed the idea and adapted it to our own island community and the needs that we have here. So.
And part of the coalition as well is, it's not just the survivorship, it's also looking at the data, policy, advocacy. So all of this is part of the coalition. It's all cancer related. So part of it is also education, early detection, making people aware of what are the signs, encouraging them, go to your doctor, get it checked out if you feel funny, anything, because the earlier the diagnosis, the faster you can move forward. And we're finding that, with the public health and some other agencies like Guam Cancer Care that are doing screenings and detections and things like that, we're finding that we're catching that a little bit earlier, where people can reach out, get information, and seek treatment going forward.
All right, well, thank you so much for your work on this project. I know it's been years in the making, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, especially as I have a lot of people who have dealt with cancer in my family as well. So be looking out for that on KUAM as well as PBS, and stay tuned. We'll be back with more healthy living after the break.